A popular Taylor guitar from the past makes a return. Today we're going to tell you all about the newest version of the Taylor 326ce 8-string Baritone. Stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you want to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for custom swag, and check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional, wherever you get your podcasts. So this has been a popular model since introduced. It's gone through a number of iterations. It's come and gone. It's kind of how it goes. It's a special edition rather than a limited edition, but I'm glad it's back. It is the Taylor 326ce Baritone 8-string. It's a bit of a mouthful, but quite a guitar.
A bit of a handful.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
It's a big dog.
Yeah. So it's a very cool guitar. It's also kind of interesting in the Taylor lineup because, and we'll get into it, it's got older bracing.
It does.
It's not V-Class. It's, really kind of an older model that Taylor brings out every once in a while, and it's such a cool guitar that it seems like every time we do this, and they come out with a new guitar, people hear it and go like, I need that in my life.
Yeah.
Very cool guitar. So 326 model, it's a Grand Symphony. It's a bigger bodied guitar. Tone wood combination on this?
All hog.
All mahogany, which I think is different from past versions.
Because it used to be mahogany superior. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you get all mahogany on it. And of course, the lead that's being buried here is it's a baritone and it has 8 strings. There you go. End of video. That's all you need to know. So baritone guitar, 8 strings. 8 strings are in the middle of the guitar. So you've got octaves on what would typically be like a D and G string, but in this tuning, it's an A and
a D, right?
A and a D string, yeah. So pretty cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. If you're not familiar with baritone guitars, what are baritone guitars, Cooper?
They call it like a business-to-business sale because this bad boy is B2B. You know what I'm saying? Like so you're moving down. Like it's another kind of 8-string, I guess, but you're rocking out B to B instead of E to E. So you're dropping it Yeah,
you're going down 5 frets effectively. It's like 2.5 steps.
Yeah.
From E. Most guitar players are familiar with the concept of using a capo. You put it on the 3rd fret and you play a G string and you're now in B or something like that.
Yeah,
So you're going the other way.
I was told there would be no math.
Yeah. We're not transposing here. The idea, though, is that you are going down to B. All of your chords are the same. It's just tuned down. And to do that, to accomplish that, what you do is you increase the scale length.
Yeah.
And you put heavier gauge strings on there.
So this is strung up with the Elixir 8-string baritone set. We do have those. We get those. So if you get this guitar, don't worry. You're not going to be without strings.
Or if you have an older one and you have a hard time finding those strings, we keep them in stock.
But, I mean, the thing is, baritones are used in all kinds of cool music. There's a ton of old school country that's got awesome baritone guitar on it. Phoebe Bridgers uses a baritone. Dan Electro, I think. So I think it's a cool time to kind of roll this back out because, yes, everybody really liked them whenever they've come out. But there's some cool music right now that's kind of utilizing the baritone.
I love some of Mateus Asato's stuff on baritone guitar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I remember when they first came out with this, it was a delight. Now I own an interesting guitar that kind of does some of this stuff, but it's a 12-string tuned down to C sharp. This, goes down even lower to B, and it has some benefits by not being a 12-string. It's a little bit easier to play. Now, they've done 6-string versions of this, but the benefit of the 8-string version is those octaves give you a bit of a shimmer in the darkness that you otherwise have with that low tuning.
Yeah, it's dark, and especially this being all mahogany, it's going to have all the warmth and mid-range of mahogany, so adding those 2 kind of octaves right in the middle, when you're strumming open chords, which this is great for, just kind of adding the texture, it gives you the kind of hint of a 12-string without it being so overly shimmery and shiny. And like
they're kind of backup singers.
Yeah, they're absolutely backup singers. And we showed off that 9-string a few months ago now, and that one had the octave on the 2nd string, and that was tuned, standard tuning. But that was really cool, but you kind of have to think about how you're going to voice certain things to really take advantage of it. Most first position chords that you're playing will have, those 2 middle strings prominent. And so especially like playing in the key of G, it makes it so nice and easy because those open notes are gonna, I guess it wouldn't be G, but you know what I'm saying. There's so much going through my head right now.
It would be C.
That would be
No.
D.
D, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a nice little thing. You don't have to think about it. It just kind of shows up as you're playing your normal stuff, and it's very cool.
And so one of the aspects of this, I mentioned, it's not V-class bracing. There's a special baritone bracing that Taylor utilizes on this guitar in order to brace the top right, in order to respond correctly. And the other part about this guitar, which is interesting, and I bring this up prior to you listening to the demo, is that Josh, who is filming us and listening to the recordings, remarked that there's a lack of woofiness, which is something that you want. So in a big-bodied guitar like this, particularly that's tuned down, there's a darkness to the sound, there's a bassiness. On a lot of like dreadnought guitars, there's this puff of air that kind of comes out, and if you've ever recorded an acoustic guitar, you might know what we're talking about. It's a really difficult thing to deal with because you can't really EQ it because it's not a note. Yeah. It's like a singer go, you know, into the microphone. And the way that these are designed and braced and constructed from Taylor, because I remember Andy Powers bringing this up when he did the Grand Pacific, it's like he's aware of this issue, so we can design a guitar that's very kind of vocal in its response to your playing and has that volume, but doesn't go into the microphone. It doesn't like pump like that speaker typically would. So that's really interesting. And then the combination on this is, I think, playing into that because that mahogany top brings that warm mid-range and darkness, but it's also kind of compressing everything, which I think works really, really well in this kind of setting.
Yeah.
So we both put it through its paces. I played some fingerstyle stuff on it, and Cooper brought his typical Cooperness to the guitar so that it can sound better than any of us would ever else otherwise play it. But gives you an idea of exactly how far you could stretch this guitar. So take a listen. So there you have it. Dark sounding guitar, dark looking guitar. It's come and brought the badunk with it. So you've got all mahogany, edge burst finish, dark binding, dark hardware, ebony, and what is that? Finial? Is that the gemstone?
Finial's gemstone.
Gemstone inlay that you typically see on a 300 series. And it comes with an ES2 pickup system, which is good because one of the problems with a baritone guitar is finding a pickup system that works well with it.
Yeah.
This works well with it. And of course a hard shell case. And it's a special edition. So what this means is it's not limited in number, it's more like limited in time. And so I'm glad they brought it back, but we have no idea for how long.
So I spoke with JR today. He said most likely less than 300 of these. I know we're going to get a pretty good chunk. This is kind of our early special that we can take a look at, but I do think that they will probably not make more than 300 of these. And I was told that if you like it but you don't want the 8-string, you can always order a 6-string version if that's what you're into.
Get the 8-string. It's very, very cool. A lot of people, I think, are always kind of like, do I really want it? And then you play it.
If you're
it's like,
already going to make the jump into something kind of weird like a baritone, you might as well get something unique. And everybody ends up liking the 8-string version more. When we had both, there was a time when we had both the 8-string and 6-string next to each other.
We sold
the
more of the
8-string was everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about we've talked about what this is. Let's talk about who it's for. This guitar is for someone. Actually, I've seen a few different people buy this guitar. One, if you sing as a baritone, in other words, if you have a lower timbered voice and you are constantly having to capo up to be in the range for songs, this guitar is probably for you. Because it's tuned down, you don't need to capo up anymore to be in the key that you need to be in to sing the songs that you want to sing. So that's definitely a benefit. And I know I've had plenty of people that came in the store and bought one of these for that very reason. The other person that this guitar is great for is if you play with other guitar players and you want to bring more to that ensemble, this is a great way to do it. And it's something I've done with my Leo Kottke 12-string.
Yeah.
So, 3 guitars, let's do it this way. Instead of everyone playing the same thing, you capo, you play standard, and I'll bring my baritone. And you play the same chords transposed for where you are, and it's an amazing sound. It's really like a guitar orchestra.
Yeah. If you're like me and your dream is to go on tour with one of your idols and be their hired gun guitar player, I was watching a Tyler Childers show at Stagecoach this weekend. And his whole band is just incredible studio players, but one of his guitarists, it's like he's got a rack of guitars and it's just telly, 335, mandolin, banjo, everything. This is something that's going to set apart the sound, placing it in the right areas of the set and songs, but it adds a new kind of flavor, which is what it's all about once you got the collection going.
Now, if you decide to do that, you do have to figure out some math, but it's really not that hard once you get used to where is this? Oh, I know where I need to be.
Yeah.
So anyways, great guitars. We're glad to have them back. If you want more information about them, you should go to
alamomusic.com.
You can see specs, you see photos there, and you can also chat with one of our associates and get all of the information that you need to get. And I stress that you go there because it's probably not even on Taylor's website or show up on Taylor's website. That tends to be the thing with special editions. I said that, and now it'll be on their website. But if you want the most information, you go to alamomusic.com. And if you want the best, guitar stuff on YouTube, you come to Alamo Music TV. That's what it's all about. So if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? You subscribe, you turn on notifications, you like our videos, and you keep coming back. That's what they should do, right, Coop?
That's what I'm talking about.
And then, maybe you can play for Tyler Childers and tell us how it was.
I wish.
Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.